packed morning. This is a very packed presentation, I know, that is coming our way with Justin Ruffier. He is the founder of Animal Cause Marketing and trapandreturn.com. He's also the senior marketing director at CARS. So he's going to talk about multi-channel fundraising made easy. And we have Justin as a hands-on marketer with over 10 years of experience. For the past 6 years, he's been working in fundraising and supporting nonprofits and animal welfare organizations like Best Friends, the Humane Society of the United States, the ASPCA, and countless local rescues. He takes pride in supporting groups large and small because every dollar counts when it's going to help animals in need. Justin started trapandreturn.com and animalcausemarketing.com in 2022 as a way to provide services and resources to the rescue community. Justin is TNR certified through the Community Cats podcast program and manages several community cat colonies in his neighborhood. He has 4 indoor cats, Dragon, Starscream, Thunder, and Breeze, and 1 outdoor cat, Pepper. And he's also a board of director advisor for 2 cat rescue organizations.
Thank you, Stacy. And hello from San Diego. I am Justin Ruffier, and this is Multi-Channel Fundraising Made Easy. I will do another very brief intro, mostly because I want to show you pictures of the cats. I am staff to 5 cats. I've been in marketing and fundraising for the past 10 plus years, and I am currently at the CARS Vehicle Donation Program. We provide vehicle donation services to thousands of nonprofits. And since I've been there in the past couple years, we've raised over $15 million for animal rescues, Humane Societies, SPCAs. So first fundraising tip from me is if you are a nonprofit, and you do not have a vehicle donation program, go sign up for one. It is all upside. It's a great service, and the CARS program provides a lot of support to help you be successful. I do support 2 cat rescues from a board of advisors capacity, and I take care of my local cat colony. I'm actually heading out to Lowe's tomorrow to pick up some lumber to make a feeding station. It's about to be winter here in San Diego, which is rainy season, and I want to get those bowls off the ground. I am TNR certified from our very own Community Cats podcast and Neighborhood Cats program. Excellent program. If you have not done the Community Cats podcast TNR program certification program, I definitely recommend it. Whether you are a new trapper or an experienced trapper, there was a lot of really good information provided. I plan to fly through this presentation so we can get to the live demo. There are a few things that I want to show you. And but before we do that, I want to just do a couple level sets. I'll talk about where I think everybody should be from a marketing and fundraising perspective, what you should be doing on a consistent basis, and how that differs from your events and fundraising campaigns. We will look at some tips and tricks, and I'll really just discuss the process that I use to create bulk content, and then we'll get to the live demo. Everything you see here is all the artwork that's in here is AI generated through Jasper, which I will demonstrate. And this presentation was created in Canva, another platform that I will demonstrate. Canva is free, and if you are a nonprofit, you can get the pro version for free as well. I'll also demonstrate the Google Grant towards the end of this, which is also another free service for nonprofits. So first, when I think about digital marketing and fundraising, really the goal is to be everywhere. People aren't on every channel. So in order to reach your entire audience, you really have to look at a multi-channel approach. Your digital audience is going to be different than your word of mouth audience, and print can be much more local. And so there's each element of marketing has some benefits. First, with digital, really this is your online reputation. Whether it's your Facebook page as your main source of information, or you have a website, this is ultimately where people are going to go to learn more about you. They're going to go online and take a look at you. There are some great benefits to having a strong digital presence, one of which is much greater reach. You can reach people nationwide and globally online, which is much harder to do in any other medium. And in many cases, once you establish great content, it lives online forever. A video on YouTube can get views for years. Website pages can be used often. You can have volunteer sign-up forms on your website that get used in a variety of capacities. So there's some upfront effort that goes into some of the digital, but once it's established, it can be much more passive. Print is another one I really like to focus on for fundraising. It's easy to do. If you can create a design, and there's some great templates out there that help with designs. You can pass things out, put things in the mail, so print is relatively easy to do. You can be very hyper local with it if you're putting flyers up or tearaways up in your neighborhood or at local coffee shops. You basically know the audience that's going to be going there. You can also develop some great partnerships through print, connecting with storefronts and anywhere there's a physical location, and seeing if they're willing to put some of your print materials up as well. Mailings still are very effective for fundraising, mailing out buck slips and asks and appeals and things like that. Vistaprint, there's a lot of really good online resources. I like Vistaprint. It's easy to use. You can get 100 postcards for about $25. So there are some great resources to help make print very easy. And on the left here, we have an AI-generated print flyer. Well, I think it was a pretty good effort. There's looks like a QR code in the corner. AI does not do writing very well in imagery. So that's why you get some things that don't quite look like real letters, but thought it was a good effort. Word of mouth. You want to be an advocate. The goal is to tell stories, cultivate those relationships. You want people to become advocates of your program and share it with their friends and family. So really good storytelling, really focus on the donor cultivation. I caught the tail end of Morgan's presentation there, and I really liked her 3-to-1 ratio. I was actually talking about that with my team the other day about how do you really cultivate a donor through communication, and the 3-to-1 ratio makes a lot of sense. 1 part ask, 3 parts engaging stories and engagement in stories. And I think that's spot on. It really turns your supporters into advocates. And on the left here, we have a cat with a megaphone. So your marketing foundation, what should you be doing on a daily basis, or really considering something that you should be doing consistently? I would probably add website to this list. I would maybe put it under SEO in this case, but social media, emails, some social channels. I'll talk a little bit about Pinterest, website, Google Grants. These are all very easy things to do. They do take some time, and I will talk about some shortcuts to make that a little bit easier. So first thing when I think about with social media, really start considering yourself a content creator, like Selfie Cat here, a cat with a selfie stick. Social media is easy to do. It's very engaging. You can reach people at all times. One thing I have noticed with social media platforms these days is they really do reward consistent activity. If you are only posting once a month, you're not likely to reach your full audience. Social channels these days are rewarding active content creators, so you want to post frequently, and sometimes that's hard to do, so I really encourage repurposing your content. It's not likely that everybody will see the post that you make, so you can make some minor adjustments to that post and post it at a different time on a different day, rather than having to create a brand new post or piece of content. You can also share it across multiple platforms. If you make a Facebook post, just click share to your other channels and you can share it to Twitter directly from Facebook. Now, while that may not be ideal for everything, it's a great way to get extra volume out there to keep those algorithms happy with your frequency. And of course, people use different channels. Not everybody is on everything. A TikTok user is probably going to be a little bit different than maybe a Facebook user. emails, excuse me, emails and newsletters, definitely your most important communication tool. Emails are great for different calls to action. You can have engagement and storytelling. You can also ask for fundraising and volunteers. So very versatile. I consider email really your foundation. You can share a lot of your foundational content through email. So your major fundraising campaigns, your top blog articles, information about services, things like that, PSAs about seasonal changes, all that can be sent through emails. And then you can also ask for donations as well. So very versatile. I do encourage testing and tracking your emails, subject lines, different types of content. You can see what's getting clicked on, what's getting engaged, and find out what your fans and followers really like. I like Pinterest for a variety of reasons. It may not be the right channel for every rescue, but find some social channels that fit your audience. I like Pinterest because it's educational. You can link directly to your website. You can do inspiration. When I make the feeding station tomorrow, I'm going to take pictures and I'll catalog it and post it on my blog and share it on Pinterest. So a DIY cat feeding station makes a lot of sense. Other channels, I would definitely start moving over to TikTok if you are not there. It definitely seems to be the way the industry is going. Everything is video. The present and the future is video. So TikTok and YouTube, I think, are two channels that you should be on. Instagram and Facebook would probably round out the 4 other ones for me. Before we finish up with the SEO piece, I would like to get in a quick poll question here.
Happy to do that. I will launch. Do you want me to launch your first poll here, Justin?
Yes, please.
All right.
So this first poll question is really to help me get a better understanding of the audience and kind of where everybody is from a marketing and fundraising perspective. So while everyone is doing that, and I believe the question is just your experience level with marketing and fundraising, I tailor a little bit more of my presentation as we go. Let me think this.
We are about ready to close the poll, actually, Justin. So I'll just close it and I will share the results and then we can move on. So I'm going to close that poll. Oops, share the results. So what's your current marketing experience level? 32% say I've never really done marketing before. 50% I only do a little bit here or there. 18% say I have a pretty good handle on things. And 0 say I'm a pro and looking for new ideas. Great.
That actually probably tracks with some of the polls during the TNR certification that you did. So I think this is a great mix of some new trappers and new rescues and some experienced groups. So that's excellent. So let me finish up with the SEO piece here, and then I have a couple tips and tricks for you. So SEO is everywhere. It's kind of like the Matrix these days. If there's a search feature, there's probably some SEO involved. SEO is search engine optimization. Most people think of a website and Google, which is primarily what we'll talk about today. But Facebook is a search engine, YouTube is a search engine. You would optimize your content a little bit differently. For example, Instagram encourages the use of multiple hashtags, whereas you may not do that on other platforms. So one of the most important things with SEO is you want to create good content. If you enjoy reading it, it's probably going in the right direction. If it's something that you don't enjoy reading, it's probably pretty bad content. So good imagery, low resolution stuff doesn't work these days. Good, clean and clear titles make it pretty obvious what you're talking about. As far as websites go, if you're trying to rank a page, you do need substance. You need words on the page, and so about 700 words or more per page is kind of a good benchmark. You also need calls to action. You need to give your users something to do. So donate buttons, learn more buttons, contact buttons, things like that are very helpful. Google wants to know that at the end of this page, the user has something to do. And Google is testing a lot, asking a lot of surveys, and they're focusing on two things. Was the content helpful, and was the content easy? So helpful and easy to me means you put the answer at the top of the page. If someone is looking for something, put it right at the top of the page. Don't hide it. Make it really helpful and easy. And Google should reward you. Linking is another big component of SEO. If you think of your website like a spider web, the links are the webs coming to and from you. So you have internal links and external links. An external link is another website linking to your website, or a social media page linking to your website. So in all of your social posts, as much as you can, link to your own website. That creates those webs. And internal linking, which I will demonstrate a little bit later, is telling Google, it's helping Google find the other pages on your website. So if you have 3 pages about fostering, connect those pages together, and that will make it a much stronger connection and easier for Google to find all of those pages. Your Google business listing, it's free. It's easy to claim. It's easy to optimize basically by filling out all of the things. The Google business listing allows you to make posts, sort of like a social media channel. And the great thing about this is it shows up at the top of Google. So whether you have a website or not, definitely get a good Google business listing and optimize it and keep it active, and that will help out quite a bit. WordPress is the most popular website platform. Yoast is one of the most popular plugins, and so I'll demonstrate a little bit of the linking and things like that in WordPress in a few minutes. Basically, you are going to do all the things. Fill out everything on Yoast and try and get a good green score. That's a good start to optimizing your content. Meta titles and descriptions are important. Again, do all the things. So events and fundraising, events and campaigns, and I think right after this slide, we will do our second poll. My rescue up in Oregon, in Eugene, Oregon, was the recipient of the Community Cats Podcast grant. And for our fundraising campaign, we did a Crafts for Cats fundraiser. I think events are great. You should definitely do a couple events a year, or as Morgan was saying, do one big event, but events allow you to connect with a different audience. You can promote on different channels like Facebook groups and Nextdoor. Craigslist is an interesting one for garage sales and things like that. We did a crafting theme, and so we connected with local craft stores. We asked them for donations, and we asked them to put up flyers in their craft stores and mention this in their newsletters because it's a fun event for their audience and it supports us. We would really have no other reason to connect with a craft store other than we did an event around crafts. So I think events are a great way to really kind of broaden your reach and connect with new audiences. One thing that seems to be pretty popular, and I'd like a little bit more information from the group here, micro fundraising campaigns, things like GoFundMe or Facebook fundraisers. I would consider these we rescued a cat who has a lot of medical bills, help us raise $2,500 to cover the surgery. So I want to ask a poll question about those. Those seem to be pretty popular and a great source of fundraising, and kind of round out the events and campaigns. Also good for PR and news. If you have an event, reach out to your local news station and see if they want to come out and cover the event. And as I mentioned, it's another way to connect with corporate partners, which may be different than your regular corporate partners.
All
so
right.
I think,
would you like me to run the poll?
Yes, please.
All right. How effective are micro fundraising campaigns for your group, GoFundMe or Facebook fundraisers? we don't do them, we don't get much from them, they represent a small but steady stream of funding, or we receive a substantial amount of funds from small campaigns.
So are these small campaigns, are they worth the effort, or would it be better just to focus on larger dollar opportunities?
All right, so we have 19% say we don't do them, 38% say we don't get much from them, 29% say they represent a small but steady stream of funding, and 14% say we receive a substantial funds from small campaigns. And then I'm going to just take a look in comments here. Someone has a comment, want to add that we're trying to start and finally got on Facebook fundraising and just got approved.
Awesome. Well, keep us informed. That's probably about what I figured, and substantial would probably be depending on the other fundraising efforts. If that's the only fundraising effort, then it would probably be pretty substantial as a portion, but it does sound like there's good value and definitely something that we should all be spending some time exploring. Also a great way to share more stories. So as you have stories and you're creating content, you can attach an ask to it. So tips and tricks. How do we create a lot of content? How do we create it quickly? How do we distribute it across all channels? And how do we go rescue cats and sit in our car at midnight waiting for the last cat? How do we juggle all of that? So here are some of my tips and tricks. This is really ultimately the process that I use. We talked about cross-sharing across platforms. So make a post, share it once or twice. That doesn't need to be your main source of content. You should create content for each specific channel, but a few shares here and there definitely help out. You can even share from Pet Finder. Once you make your Pet Finder post, share it to your social channels right there. Saves a few minutes of logging in and recreating that post. Focus on photography. Your content really is only as good as the photography. If you don't have good photography, which I know can be a challenge, invest in some good stock photography sites. The free sites that I use, Unsplash, Adobe Stock has a really good free section, and then Canva also has a very good free section. And if all else fails, just pop into one of these AI generators and create your own photography. And again, focus on video. Photography is great, and if you can do carousel ads, so line up multiple pictures. You can use multiple pictures to tell a story. You can also add motion effects to your pictures to add a little bit of movement. So a couple tips there. Repurpose everything. Make it once, use it multiple times. You can do throwback Thursdays. You can reshare things later on. You can do an in case you missed it and then repost it. So again, I think a common misconception is that once you posted it, everybody's seen it and you can't use that post again. I don't think that's the case these days. And you can continue to build your stories. Turn a rescue story into an adoption story. And now you have one long story that tells the entire story of that animal. Creating bulk content in stages, this is one that I think is really a very good tip if you're trying to create a lot of content. So I personally found that it's much easier to stay in writing mode for one day and go next day switch into design mode. And so you do all your writing one time, then you do all your design at another time, and you can just stay in that mode and get a lot more done much more quickly, as opposed to trying to write a piece, design a piece, and post a piece. Just feels like it's a lot slower to do one at a time. One thing that helps with that is you really don't have to start from scratch anymore. There are templates out there that save you a lot of time, and some really good templates too. So it keeps you from getting too creative. When you look at a blank canvas, you may want to get a little bit crazy. Templates can keep you consistent there. Last tip, if you're not good at something, there are some very easy ways to hire people. Freelancers, outsourcing, I like Upwork and Fiverr. You can find someone to optimize your website, build a website. You can find someone to add Google Analytics to your site. So whatever you are not good at, you can find someone out there to hire, and you can find them usually fairly inexpensively. This is one of my favorite pictures that I've created. With the ear tip and everything. I just think this is a great picture. All right, so let's put it all together. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and create a great piece of pillar content. Maybe it's a longer form content, and then we're going to pull smaller sections from it. That will allow us to really repurpose that content and give it some really good use and a good life out of that content. We don't have to create that all at once. We can create it in stages. I go to my local shelter twice a week, and I take all my pictures and videos and descriptions of what the pets are. And then at another time, I do all the pet finder descriptions and things like that. I do a lot of my writing all at once, then I do my designing and posting, and so I really do things in stages. And another nice thing there is I always have something kind of in the hopper. At any point, I can take something that I've designed and attach a description to it and send it out. And so I'm always halfway done with some of these. Post on multiple platforms. You can schedule these in advance, so you don't have to just post it every day. You can schedule it out. You can use something like Hootsuite to schedule across multiple platforms. And again, you can share it from one platform to another just to save a little bit of time. Repurpose and repost. Continue to develop the stories so you have longer form content, and then share those stories as often as you can. So let's see what that looks like. Let's try something new. I'm going to show Jasper AI, which is an AI writing and art platform. I will show Canva, free design platform, and a pro version for free for nonprofits. WordPress, free website platform. I think you only pay about $100 for hosting for that setup, and the nonprofit Google grant, also free for nonprofits. Before we dive into the demo, if you do not have a website, you can win a website. So let us help you help more cats. Go to trapandreturn.com/win to win a website. All right, so as you can see, I was presenting directly from Canva. So I am going to hop over to Jasper AI. Jasper is an AI writing platform. It came out just a few years ago. How it was explained to me is in 2019, Jasper read 10% of the internet. So Jasper knows things. Jasper knows what the internet knows. And the way I approach Jasper is if someone's sitting in a chair and I'm asking them to write something, I'm giving them prompts. That's basically what I'm telling Jasper to do. So this is the main dashboard. Jasper has templates that you can pick from. We're going to look at the commands one, which is basically telling Jasper to write something. Jasper can write paragraphs. Jasper can write in different frameworks such as attention, interest, desire, and action. So you put inputs into it and prompts, and it'll create content in this framework. There are social media posts, so you can create dozens of Facebook ads very quickly, which will also create a few Facebook posts in Jasper. There's some fun things. Jasper is a marketing writing tool, so everything here is geared towards marketers. So first thing that we'll do, and I did load a few prompts here just to save us a little bit of time. So basically whatever you put in, Jasper is going to use to create content. So we're going to create a pet finder description. I think Jasper is a really cool tool for descriptions because in many cases, if you are not the person playing with the cat and who knows the cat, but you are creating those descriptions, more information would be helpful. And if you don't have that information, Jasper can really help fill in the blanks. So we're going to write a pet adoption description for Dusty. a Maine Coon kitten. And I'm just going to put in who he is. He's a Maine Coon kitten, male, cuddly, playful, and he loves humans. I'm going to generate 2 outputs, and let's see what we get. Dusty is a playful Maine Coon kitten who loves human companionship. He's a cuddler and loves to play, making him the perfect addition to any family. Dusty is up for adoption at your local shelter. Not bad. You can run this a few times. You get some different lengths of things. And so you can get some pretty cool variations. Dusty is a playful male Maine Coon kitten who loves humans. He's cuddly and will make a great pet for someone who wants a companion that loves to play and cuddle. Dusty is up for adoption at your local shelter. I'm going to take the second one. He loves to play and run around, but he's also happy to curl up on your lap for a nap. Dusty is an affectionate cat who will make a great addition to any home. So now I'm going to go into the documents, and I'm going to create a blog post. So we have a description here, a Pet Finder description for Dusty. I can post that on Pet Finder. I can post that on social media. I'm also going to post that on a WordPress page. So very same thing, you put in some prompts. So we're going to write a pet adoption and fundraising blog post for Dusty. You can change your tone of voice, so you can do funny, serious. I'm going to do the tone of voice of a veterinarian, and keyword Community Cat Foundation. Let's see what it says about. It should include the Community Cat Foundation keywords in here. So I'm just going to compose. I like to see what Jasper does, sort of sight unseen. Dusty was rescued by the Community Cat Foundation, a San Diego-based organization. It's pulling San Diego here. The foundation is dedicated to helping all cats, including those with special needs like Dusty. I don't know that we said he had special needs, but we can change that. Please visit their website or contact Jasper's Thinking. You always want to fact check your AI writing because it may not get the facts correct. And this is also a great starting point. This is not necessarily a finished product. And it looks like he's having his coffee break this morning. I guess this is the challenge with a live demo, is you're at the mercy of the platform. We'll give it just another second here, and then I'll see what a refresh does. A couple other things that I want to add to this. I'm going to give it a refresh. A few other things that I want to add to this blog post would be reasons to adopt a shelter cat. And so we'll give it a new headline here. If you're interested in donating, thank you for your support. So let's add a new headline and do 5 reasons to adopt a shelter cat. Now Jasper should recognize what's above it and write 5 reasons to adopt a shelter cat. Perfect. Shelter cats are in need of a loving home. Adopting a shelter cat helps to reduce pet homelessness. Shelter cats make great companions. Adopting a shelter cat is cheaper than buying a new cat from a breeder. When you adopt a cat, you're giving that cat a second chance at life. Cool. There's some good stuff there. We can obviously build that out a little bit more. We can change some of these and then compose again. So if we want to change some of the verbiage, but I wanted to really just show you a little bit about what an AI writing tool can do. And when I talk about platforms like Jasper, the most common response I get is, oh, I could never use something like that. Well, I actually think that the worse you are at something like writing or design, the more these tools will help you out. If you're not a good writer, Jasper is going to do the bulk of the work for you. And if you are a good writer, this is a really fun tool to use. So let's test Jasper. Let's say let's say Dusty has FIV. What is FIV in cats? So we want to add a little piece here about FIV positive cats. Let's see what Jasper says about it. If he wants to respond. I will get ready to move to the next piece, which is Canva, because we were just about done with this blog post. The next step is I was going to take this blog post and put it in a WordPress post and show you some of the SEO and linking. I'll come back here to Jasper and see if he finished that up. So this is Canva. Canva is a free platform. Again, you can get an upgraded version for free if you're a nonprofit. You have great templates that you can start. I just picked a presentation template, and that's how I created my presentation for today. You have all your social media sizes and things like that already set and ready to go. You have print flyers, infographics, really whatever you may want. Canva makes it very easy for you to get a good starting point. So let's make a Facebook post for Dusty. Let's see if we finish this up here. FIV is a virus that attacks a cat's immune system. It is most commonly spread through bites, so it is important to keep your cat indoors to reduce the risk of infection. FIV positive cats can live a long, healthy life with proper care. I think that's pretty good. So again, Jasper knows 10% of the internet. So if this is a known fact, Jasper should be able to pull from that fact relatively accurately. And so we have 368 words here, so halfway to that 700. And we have a great source of content, and that only took us about 5 minutes to do. So before I show you a little bit about how to create some of these, let me show you some of the social posts that I created for this event that I shared with our team. So I made 36 social media posts. Probably took me about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, and you can see they kind of go in themes. So I used one template up here, changed the background, changed the font. Formula for success. This was I got some really cool art for this one, and these four are kind of the same template. I just moved things around. So 36 blog posts, social posts in about 2 hours. And here's a good example. So here's one post that I just inverted the colors. I added the logo here, moved some things around, added some different artwork. So once you have a template, you make a few adjustments, you can duplicate it, and then you are off to the races. So since we're going to do a pet adoption one, I want to look for something with a big visual, a big header image, so we can feature the pet. I like to go through and just pick out a few that I think might be a good fit. And then I start customizing them and end up with some that I really like and some maybe that I don't like so much. So let's jump in here. Here is a picture of Dusty. And let's see if we can get Dusty in the right place here. It's going to be a background. So you end up with actually quite a different startup or quite a different outcome usually, just simply by moving some things around to fit your image. So I'm going to do another good best practice. I'm going to get rid of a few of these elements. Is you have a headline and a description usually in most posts, so you don't need to repeat everything. If it's going to be in your description, then do something different on the post. So maybe we could do something like feral or friendly and make it a little bit more clickbaity. Let's say this was a video and we want them to click on it. So we're asking them, is this a feral? He doesn't look like he's super friendly. He is a cuddler though, I will say. That is Dusty. He's been one of my favorites for a few months. So we can just kind of go through and we can make a few different designs here. This background is a little dark. Let's maybe give it a slightly different style there. We lost some of our font when we did that. A lot of really fun different styles and themes. You can also load in your own branding, and you can pull directly from that. So you can keep your graphics really on brand. So this is essentially how you can create a lot of content very quickly. And as you can see, they do look quite a bit different from the starting points. So the next tip here is you can, if you have the Pro version, you can simply resize things with the click of a button. So let's say we want to turn this into a Facebook cover or an Instagram post with a different size. You just hit resize and it'll move everything over to that new size. You may have to reformat a few things. Think it's also an opportunity to make additional customizations. So that is Canva. The next thing that I will show is, let me grab this blog post. I am going to pull up WordPress. And if you are interested in winning a website, this is the first winner, communitycatfoundation.org. So I would be able to put together a website. Similar to this, we didn't have a whole lot to start with. Another downside to the live demo is sometimes things load slowly. We'll give it a moment. The reason I like WordPress, again, is it's free, it's easy to use. I have gotten much more into WordPress just in the past year. They've released so many new tools and templates that make it incredibly easy to use. You really don't need any coding or programming or anything like that to use WordPress. Watch a few YouTube videos and just play around. You can create pages and draft status, and so it's really hard to mess up, especially if you're just setting out to learn a little bit more. While this is thinking.
Justin, I have a quick question out here. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Over here, Michelle was asking, is there a link to sign up for Canva Pro for a charity? She saw a school teacher link or a school teacher link, but not one for like a cat rescue.
I believe all you need is an EIN. You usually do need to submit like an IRS determination letter as well. And I can find that link and make that available. I will also post the Google Grant sign up as well.
Great. Yeah. So we do have maybe about 5 more minutes at most. So.
All right. So we are going to move on to the last piece. Really what I was going to show with the WordPress, I was going to show Yoast. And again, it's do all the things, fill out all the sections. And then the last thing I was going to show is linking. Any post can have a link. You can say to learn more about X, and you link to a blog post or one of your pages that talks about it. So you want to find topics within your pages that link to other topics, and then you just insert a hyperlink to that page. So I will breeze through this in 3 minutes. This is the Google Grant that I set up for the Cat Rescue and Adoption Network in Eugene earlier this year. The Google Grant works very well for adoptions and just general searches for cat rescues and humane societies and things like that. If you're not familiar with the Google grant, if you do a Google search, you see ads at the top. That's what this is. We are writing ads. We're showing those ads to people who are searching different things. So in the past few months, we've spent $10,000 of free money. A lot of this helps with the pet finder descriptions or the pet finder adoptions, searches for cat shelter, cat adoptions, Oregon cat rescue, feral cat rescue. So if someone is searching for feral cat rescue and you want your organization to show up, the Google grant is a great tool to do that. And then the last thing I'll show here, and then Stacy, I will be done, I promise. Actually, I shouldn't promise that because there was a secret I had last for you. So Google has made a lot of changes over the summer. One of which is how they approach keywords. Keywords are really no longer a thing. It's more about search intent. So the term low cost neuter or cat neutering, that is a keyword, but ultimately anything that's around that intent is also going to trigger your ad. So they've gotten much more broad with how they are approaching keywords. And it's much more intent-based. And then the last thing for the grant, which they've made some significant changes, is their responsive search ads. Your goal is to get an optimized ad strength and excellent ad strength. And you do that by loading 15 different headlines. And one of the things they have changed is they want a good mix of descriptions, calls to action, such as donate today or contact us, learn more. They also want, I like the truth phrases, official site is a good one. And so as you can see, our ad strength, let me get a couple more here so our ad strength really goes up a little bit more. I'm just gonna pick these to illustrate the point. There's our ad strength going up. Same with descriptions. You want 4 descriptions. They will recommend some descriptions, but you'd spend a few minutes really creating a good ad set here. Do all the things, fill everything out. If it wants 15 headlines, give it 15 headlines. If you don't have an excellent ad strength, then you may not have your ads shown at all. All right, Stacy, if we have any questions, we can do questions now. I assumed people wanted to see some AI generated art, so I put together in celebration of tomorrow's Diversity Day, a rainbow colored cat walking on a cloud. And so I'll just generate some art here while we're doing any final Q&A.
Wow, that's awesome. Justin, I wanted to say this is tremendous information. I think everybody is in awe about all this information, and I feel like a secondary mastermind session may need to happen to further expand on all of this, because truly incredible. I'm going to check on the questions here and
really
see if
good
we
one.
have a couple quick questions before we break for lunch. But I honestly have to say, really feel like the crowd is kind of speechless out there. I've had comments like, this is amazing, wonderful, incredible. Yes, a lot to take in.
Yes. Jasper is $20 a month. This art feature is $20 a month. Everything else I showed was free. So, and if you're still not good at it or confident you can do it, check out, well, this is a good series. Check out a freelancer.
Yeah, this is it's really fantastic. So I think everybody is still digesting here. Some ask for more information going forward. So I think Justin, you and I will have a conversation about how we can maybe expand on this in such a way so that then it doesn't feel as overwhelming as maybe it does to some of the members in the group right now. But really,
apologize for going so quick.
Oh, it's my fault too, and in a way, and when you were writing the description about Dusty and everything, I'm going, oh, these are my blog posts, And I am a fan of batch work too. I think that we should all work to be efficient, so we can post blogs, do everything that we can do up front, and then it doesn't take so much time when we have to get back into something. It's called deep work, right? You're
Right.
going into your deep work session, and you're not having to transition in and out all the time. You go in, you write 4 blogs, and then you pull out and you're done, rather than each week having to go in and write another blog post.
Right.
But Justin, this is just really fantastic. It's awesome. Total example of turning your passion for cats into action. I really appreciate you being a trapper, building feeding stations, doing all of this incredible marketing work for cats. Really, really appreciate it. And I highly recommend folks reach out to Justin with any follow-up questions, and get your name in for the website. That's a tremendous offer. And we'll make sure we throw that in the chat too. And we'll make sure it is out in the Facebook group if you're not out there, Justin. But if you are, feel free to post out in that Facebook group about that to everybody out there. Eye-opening. No idea that these tools even existed. So really great information. So
that is part of my goal, to bring some new insights and just some cool new tools to this community.
that's great. It's great. All right. So thank you all for going a little bit over time.